Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome back to uh, our Monday stream this week. It's going to be a quick stream, and we'll be talking about the super exciting print challenge number 2. Um, got myself, Matteo, one of the co-founders of 3DQ, joined again by Leah,
Yes.
and behind the camera, as always, we've got Stephen.
Hello.
He's doing all the tech stuff for us.
Yes.
Yeah, so let's get right into it. Today we'll be announcing, the second print challenge. And I guess why don't we show off what we'll be printing first, and then we can talk a little bit about what we'll be doing with this challenge. So the files, if you want to download them, are live right now on Thingiverse. I believe the link will be in the description. And yeah, here it is. So, what are we looking at? What is this, Leia?
It's a shelf?
Yeah.
It's a cubby, not a chubby.
Yeah, it's the this week's challenge. The point of this challenge is printing many parts, and then at the end of the week's challenge, next week we'll be talking about all the different challenges around doing tons of 3D prints.
Yes,
So
exactly.
we've got this modular shelf design by John Oldman, and what it is it's a bunch of individual pieces that you can put together to create a giant modular shelf. And what's really cool is it's got an option to show off your bench piece on there.
Yes, it does.
So this week, the challenge will come in, I guess, 3 flavors, and you can choose whichever one you want to do. So the first challenge is who can print a 4x4 cubby the fastest. So it'd be you should be able to fit 16 benchies on here. And I believe that's 65 pieces. And then the second part of the challenge, and the reason we're giving so much time for this, is that we also want to see who can print just the biggest shelf, the most pieces. And so I think that's what we'll be competing in. We've got some Quinlys set up for this. And then the final aspect of the challenge is going to be the most creative. So if you want, there are SCAD files on here as well. So if you want to try going for a really funky shape, like assembling them in a really cool way, or even modifying the files slightly, you can compete for that.
Or talk about like colors as well.
Oh, different colors, yeah. Different, like if you've got any cool colors or cool filaments. Yeah, I guess you could even go for 2 categories if you want to do like the biggest and most creative, or fastest and most creative if you're doing some kind of crazy materials or colors.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, and then at the end of the week, when you post your entries on social media and tag us, it could on any social media is fine. They're actually prizes, so you'll be able to compete and win filament, and yeah, we'll be giving away some glow-in-the-dark blue and glow-in-the-dark green filament. So that's pretty exciting, and that if you want to print more shelves or glow-in-the-dark shelves, you can totally do that with these colors.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, so
You also have a most spectacular fail as a.
Oh, we
that's
do?
my
That's
favorite one.
Okay.
You always have that.
We're bringing that back too.
Yeah.
So from our last print challenge, that was one of the categories. Who had like the craziest failure? If you get a crazy fail while doing this challenge, definitely post it. That'll be one of the categories to compete
I like
in
it.
as well. Yeah. Yeah. So something that we're going to be exploring with this, because we're going to be at 3DQ, we'll be trying to print as many of these shelves as possible. We're going to be exploring next week looking at the results of the printing and exploring the benefits of automation in general, but also looking at how automation affects batching, and we'll talk about that in a little bit too. But maybe we want to show off actually how these parts fit together. We've already got a couple printed, so they're just these
together.
these flat pieces, and then I guess these rods, and you just slide them together, and the design is really nice actually.
They clip really well.
Yeah, they just snap in, and yeah, you can just put together as many of these as you want. And I think we'll be printing ones with these benchy inlays, so that once we're done, we'll put a display up on our wall here, and
that'll look
show
really
off.
nice.
Yeah,
we
show
won't
off.
have just gray behind us.
Yeah, well, actually, that's something interesting going on.
There we go.
But maybe show off a bunch of the different material benchies that we've done. Like,
oh yeah,
this is Steven's polycarbonate benchy that
really
he's
nice
very
one.
impressed by. So, yeah, you just kind of slide them together. Oh, some of them take quite a bit of pressure. Yeah. And so the race begins, I mean, pretty much immediately for the 4x4. So what we mean by first to print a 4x4 is going to be basically, this is one, and you have to go out 4 cubbies this way and up 4 cubbies that way and print a big square. And I think users who have Quinly will have a little bit of an advantage, because we were just testing on Sunday and getting just to see like approximately how many we could print, and I think we already have enough just from printing overnight to do a 4x4. But we'll be starting over for the
we're not gonna cheat.
Yeah, we're not gonna cheat with our pre-printed parts. Yeah, so why don't we get actually into the slicing a little bit, and talk about like how automation changes batching, because something that's quite interesting is like if you were printing manually, the way to go about printing dozens and dozens of parts would be to just try and batch them as much as possible, put as many on a plate as possible, because that's about as close as you'll get to the printer running 24/7. So if I were, you know, running a manual machine, I would probably orient the parts like this, and then just try and fit as many as possible on here. So just
because just a cool thing right now.
Yeah.
The guy in chat, the day before tomorrow, is actually John Oldman who designed this.
Oh, no way.
Thing. Yeah.
Oh, that is so exciting.
Yeah.
This model is awesome. And
yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it's really
thank you for putting it up. I'm so excited to have it as a backdrop. That's so cool.
It's gonna be so pretty.
Yeah. He should compete in it. I mean, he's
Oh,
probably
I mean, he's probably got all his settings down already.
Yeah, he's probably already got his shelf built. Anyway, so that's so cool. But yeah, getting back into here, the way I would probably do it is just try to fit as many on a plate as once. Because the more you can fit, the longer your printer will run without you having to go and remove parts. But I'm pretty sure anyone watching right now can see that this is definitely not the most optimal way to print these parts, for a couple of reasons too. First is printing thin things standing up like this is pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
There's a very high chance that at least one of them will knock over. And the other thing is, in terms of strength, you've got these, I'm just going to delete everything actually, except for one. In terms of strength, you've got these really thin portions, which are now your layers are
Yeah.
lining up in a way that they'll be very weak. And because this model really cleverly relies on the flexibility of the filament, you don't want that weakness to be in the points that are flexing. So even though you can batch, I think at least 60 of them on a single bed, it's quite risky to do so. The other thing about standing them up like this is that they will actually take longer to print. So if we just slice this, it's 47 minutes standing upright, but sitting flat like this.
Oh, actually, you might need to disable the overlay on this.
Oh, is the overlay hiding
you
it?
can see the time estimate.
Oh, they can. They can.
It's just very close to the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, it's down here. Right. So as I was saying, standing up it was 47 minutes, but lying down like this, it's 33 minutes. So even just lying it over, you save about 20% on your print time. But again, in a manual system, the trade-off is that lying down, you can only fit four to six on a bed at once, which means you'll be coming back to your printer more and more often.
Yeah, exactly.
What we're planning to do with the Quinly is, because we don't have this issue of having to run back to the printer to remove parts, we are actually planning to print them in this orientation and just do small batches. I think we'll probably do 4 at a time, I think. And the really nice thing is we also gain the benefit of them printing about 20% faster just because they're lying down.
Yeah, so overall that's faster than by batching them vertically.
Yeah. So we should expect to get about 20% more parts than batching them vertically when we're running on Quinly. Yeah, it's one of those very non-obvious benefits that come from automation and that come from moving away from batching. With batching, yes, your printer will run longer on its own, but there are other downsides in that your orientation gets limited. And then, of course, there's always the risk of larger failures.
Yeah, it's always really sad when you're doing a batch and the entire thing fails in the middle.
Yeah, it is not ideal for sure. Yeah, so I think for the flat parts, we'll be doing 4s on our Quinlys. And the reason we're doing 4s instead of 1s is that you still get a little bit of time savings by doing small batches because you don't have to reset as often.
Yeah.
And the reset, of course, you have to count the time for cooling and heating in that. So there's a bit of a trade-off, but with these parts, they use so little filament, and the risk of them failing is quite low because per layer you only have 4 hops, whereas if you were standing them all up in a batch, you'd have so many travels and retractions. Actually, that's also something to mention in terms of print time. When batching, sometimes it can be slower to batch than to print individually because of the extended, just the amount of retractions and travels that you have.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's how we'll do these.
That'll be cool.
Lying down. And then for the other part, which is the rod, we'll be doing square ones, but he did provide files for hexagonal shelves too. For these, we'll probably just do, let's see. So the slice time for a single one is 46 minutes on this profile. It would probably be reasonable just to do them one at a time. That's how we were printing the test ones, and we got a couple dozen over yesterday and tonight, so that should be fine. Yeah, let's see. If we multiply it, let's see what happens if we do 5. 3 hours, 22 minutes. So that is 180 plus 22 divided by 5, 40 minutes. So we only save about 6 minutes per part, I think, by doing a batch of 5, which is okay. I think it might be worth doing these tinier batches. Where it starts to break down is definitely when you're doing batches of tens of parts and the batches are taking, 12 to 24 hours. You don't really want that.
Yeah.
The risk is just too high.
We got a question from the creator, John Oldman. He said, so what's the background behind this whole thing? He's never heard of it until he got the email notification that someone made a remix.
Oh, yeah. So we can talk about that too.
Yeah, maybe just a bit about what we do.
What Quinly is, what we do, yeah. So Quinly is an automation upgrade for 3D printers, and we thought John's model would be an excellent way of showing how automation is able to really easily produce tons and tons of 3D printed parts at a very low cost because there's no operator involved. So you can see a video here of our kit for the Prusa where we were printing a 14-part assembly. Actually, Steven, could you pass it to me? Yeah. We were printing one of these, and all we had to do was queue up the different G-code in our software, and then of course our software works together with the vapor bed in order to queue and automatically release parts. And so I set up this queue just during the day and let the printer go for about, I think, 20 hours. And when I came back the next day, all my parts were sitting there waiting for me, ready, which is far more convenient than having to manually do batch layouts,
yeah, for sure,
or manually, printing and removing parts. So this challenge that we're posing to our customers of Quinly and anyone who's interested is meant to demonstrate by doing the different inefficiencies of 3D printing, and then how automation changes how you might run a farm of 3D printers, or even just a single 3D printer. Ever since I personally started using it, and part of the reason I invented it was because it's so much easier, not just in the fact that you don't have to constantly go to your printer to remove parts, but also now I'm not thinking about batch layouts as much anymore, and I'm not scheduling my time around my 3D printer. I'm just queuing parts up and letting them go.
Yeah, it definitely reduces a lot of stress that comes from 3D printing that people don't really think about, I think.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, myself included, have, with a really big 3D printed project that requires lots and lots of parts, have a bit of a sense of dread about starting it, just because they know it's going to be such a big time investment. I've spoken to a few people about it, and we can kind of all relate on it. And it's not super apparent why, but then when you dig to the core of it, it is, if I'm going to start this project, I'm going to have to invest so much time with my printer. Yeah, as Leah would know.
Yes, I have much experience with that.
Yeah, but with Quinly, it's almost like, oh, you don't even have to think about it, because I just log in, send, whatever parts I need, send it to the queue, and then just walk downstairs a couple hours later and pick up my parts.
Exactly. Definitely made me more excited about 3D printing again after I got DIY kit. I think Steven also says that too. So I guess all of us who got one from 3DQ have been pretty happy about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy to see just how much more people use their printers when they put Quinly on.
So true.
Like there's one person that we talk about pretty frequently, where he literally started using his printer like 100 times more than before, where it took him like a year to print 200 parts previously, and then he printed, since getting Quinly, he printed another 200 parts in the following 2 weeks, and then he got more printers too as well to use, which is just wild. So that's the background, and this contest with your model is just we thought your model would be a really great way of
showing it off.
Yeah, giving something functional that requires many pieces. And it's going to be interesting next week on the stream when we go through everyone's results and go through our own results, looking at time investment, how much the actual cost of the parts were manual versus automated, and then of course installing hopefully a beautiful backdrop behind us, so
that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, a little bit more exciting to look at than the gray wall.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I would also, if you know any people who might be interested in competing for this, and just to see how well they can run their 3D printer over 7 days, and also of course to compete for filament, definitely invite your friends to this challenge. The only time-based portion of this challenge is the 4x4 grid, but then I think we're going to see really interesting results is when people start competing for who can do the most parts over the course of the week. Yeah, I'm curious to hear about what printers people are using, whether or not they have Quinly, how much they were able to print, and how they were laying their parts out. I think will be pretty interesting.
I agree.
Might be also worth mentioning, we're almost at 300 subscribers.
Oh yeah, we're almost at 300 subscribers. So
thanks, guys.
Thank you. Yeah, that's awesome. We're finally we're getting up there, and it's getting dangerously close to 300.
Yeah, wonder if anyone will push us over.
Yeah, if there are any people who aren't subscribed yet, I would recommend subscribing. Hopefully we can get over 300 before the next stream.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, so Kevin has a question. Are we talking 16 actual finished cubes?
Yeah, so it will be 16 of these. Yes. Yeah, so that's, hold on, I did it. It's 40 flat pieces and 25 rods. So 16 like that. You should be able to fit 16 benchies in it. That's
there we go. That's
what
a good way of saying it.
The requirement is. Let's see. Oh, let's go into detail. So that's the first one, is fastest to do 4x4, and we'll be starting right after this stream, so you'll have to compete with us. I think you can use any number of printers, right?
Yeah, there's no limit to...
No limit on the actual printers themselves. So if you've got many printers, I would recommend doing that. And that's for the green glow-in-the-dark filament. And then at the end of the week, so closing for next Monday, we'll be tallying up the largest grid, and that will be for the blue glow-in-the-dark filament. And then we'll also have most beautiful, whether you're editing the model, putting something beautiful in the cubby holes, or using really cool filaments. And then most spectacular fail as well. And so most spectacular fail will be doing a poll in our Discord, and most beautiful will be doing a poll in our Discord. For the largest grid, you post it online on any kind of social media and just tag our account, and we'll see it. And also for the fastest 4x4 grid, also post that online and tag us, and the first person to do so will win that contest as well. So you can send it to us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and then the hashtag to use is 3DQ print along, and also just tag our account. And
Yeah.
our account is 3DQ or 3DQ Systems Anywhere. Just gonna post it in chat.
Justin 3D says he wants to cheat and use his 200 printers at college.
He can, yeah, he can. If he wants to. They're probably not outfitted with Quinly, so it'd be. I would genuinely be curious the time it would take to set it up on all 200
That's
machines
true.
at your college. Cali Cats exclusively. Yeah, you could actually, if you don't want to do benchies, you could. The file is open, so if you want to remix it to fit, have like a Cali Cat footprint,
That'd
you
be really
totally
cute
can.
too.
Yeah, and Adam said he's got his all queued up. He's printing the first layer right now.
Oh my,
Damn.
Adam is too fast.
Flexing on
he's
us.
he's ready to win this. Bonus points for getting the 16 benchies finished, of course. But even more bonus points if you get them printed in different materials and different colors.
Yes.
Like I want our shelf to be a showcase of all the different materials we've tested.
Yeah, that'd be a lot prettier than just one color,
Yeah.
for sure.
Like this is, yeah, Steven's polycarbonate benchy. Beautiful.
I love it.
Yeah. We gotta find the
Oh.
TPU one too.
I just had, yeah, TPU. What if someone printed these shelves in TPU and
Oh, that'd be
used
so
like
funny.
flex shapes, everything
Crazy.
circular.
That
Round,
would be kind of
Yeah,
cool.
or like even wobbly.
wobbly.
Maybe that's an idea for most creative.
Yeah.
Mm.
Justin's got 4 with Quinly. I think with those 4, we printed about. I think we printed enough for a 2x4 in 24 hours on 3 printers. So you should be done by tomorrow or Wednesday morning if you start printing now. Let's see, is there anything else we should go over? This is going to be a shorter stream, but if you guys have any questions about the contest as well, ask them now, or if you're watching this on the replay, ask them in our Discord, which will be linked in the description.
We talk about the heat.
Oh,
PLA.
yeah.
Yes.
That's actually good. We've been having a heat wave here in Vancouver, BC. Today it's supposed to get up to 40 degrees outside, or 42 when I checked last night. And yeah, Vancouver people are not built for these temperatures. It's Canada, so and Vancouver has very mild summers.
Exactly. So
Yeah, we were joking around that if the world's manufacturing ran on Quinlys and everyone was just producing locally and there wasn't the need for so much shipping, maybe our climate wouldn't be so crazy.
yeah,
And that's the end goal anyways.
it
Like
really is.
climate change and global warming directly competes with Quinly because when it's hotter, it takes longer for the cooling cycle to happen as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the more people switch over, the less hot it will be for us here in Vancouver.
You could show the hooks.
Oh, yes. Thank you for prompting me. I nearly forgot. These, so on our 1,000 hour dyes challenge, we were printing these hooks for a while. And they're just some planter hooks that my mom wanted to hang her planters in our backyard. This is what happened to them in the heat on Saturday. So they're just fully
drooping.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
One of them got super distorted as well. And it was pretty interesting. They were so strong before it got hot that I was able to stand on them.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Damn.
they could support, I guess, 35 kilos each. But as soon as it got warm this weekend, they all melted and all the planters just came down, crashing down. This was the temperature in the shade in our backyard that day when it melted.
It's just not okay.
Yeah, this definitely represents how I feel. about this heat wave.
Mhm.
The sad face. Yeah, it was not.
I like how they're both. If you see like the wet one, you could see it's like
No,
also.
it's a neutral.
Why would wet be better? I feel like dry heat is way better than wet.
Definitely.
I don't know if
I think
agree with
maybe
it.
the heat itself is comfortable in no temperature.
But also talk about material choice for people printing this at home.
Yeah, so if you plan on putting this shelf in a garage or somewhere that might experience direct sunlight like this, may recommend something like PETG or ABS or ASA. Well, direct sunlight ASA is always the go-to because of its UV resistance. Yeah, I think, and what's nice is that all those materials will work just the same on Quinly.
Yeah.
Even with the hotter temperatures, what's nice is that ABS and ASA actually also release at a much higher temperature. So
Yeah.
even if your ambient is quite hot, you can still print those pretty easily. Yeah, I might consider, I think I'm gonna reprint these in ASA for
That's
sure.
pretty fair.
I was joking with Kevin, I think, about oh no, it wasn't with Kevin, it was with Blaze on our Discord about this being a great excuse to try out PEI, just because we don't know how much colder the or how much hotter it's gonna get today.
Yeah, today's gonna be a rough day, I think.
Definitely.
Gonna stay in the office.
It's 36 right now.
Where?
Oh yeah.
Here.
Oh yeah.
That's what Google said.
Oh, what the heck? I just saw it was at 28. Did it just randomly go up?
Oh, I guess it's still early afternoon.
Yeah, it's gonna get worse like later in the day when I'm actually leaving.
I think most of our customers in the US are probably looking at us like we're wimps.
I literally
Because that's
cannot
not that
handle
hot.
this.
93 here in upstate New
Oh,
York.
it's 37 now.
What is that converted to Celsius?
Convert it to C.
I'm not good
Yeah,
with Fahrenheit.
Let's convert it to a non-freedom unit. 33.
Okay.
Okay, so it's getting up there too. Oh yeah, just in 3D, the challenge is a week-long challenge. So 24 hours, you've got all week to do this. And even if you don't start right away, definitely if you're going for the 4x4, time when you do start to when you do end, because it's going to be interesting data for us to discuss next stream. Yeah, especially compared to our own, to see whether you guys are getting the same results we are. Anything else we should talk about?
That was all we were planning to talk about.
Okay.
Yeah, short stream.
Yeah.
And we'll catch up with everyone next Monday with all the results.
Yes. I'm excited to see the fails, and I'm excited to see the creative ones, I think.
I just want to see how big people
That's
can get
true.
theirs. I want this whole wall covered.
I want to see if we can like beat them, and with what we have, like I feel like we might be kind of confident that we can beat them.
I think so, but
I want to see them.
Well, people might show us up.
I know.
I wouldn't put it past
Exactly.
some of these guys to show us up. For sure. I bet someone else will be done in 24 hours. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I don't think we can enter for fastest because we've already got everything sliced.
Yeah.
We can definitely go for largest.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay. That's the plan.
297 subscribers.
We're so close to 300. Share this with your friends. Get them to enter and then also get them to subscribe.
Yeah.
So that we can hit 300 before the next stream. And thank you everyone for all the likes on the video as well. 86 in Central Texas. Oh my God. Do you want to trade places, Ben?
Yeah, why does it seem like we're so much hotter than Texas right now?
Holy. All right. Oh, wait, did someone say?
Oh, 298. Who was it?
We're
I checked
so
who it
close.
No.
We are
Justin
so
3D
close.
just subscribed.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you.
We are so close. We're so close. But yeah, I think we'll end it here, and hopefully we hit 300 before the next stream.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely share this out to your friends, because even if they didn't catch this live, there's still 3 other categories that they can compete in.
Yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
who doesn't want free filament? I mean,
Who doesn't want free filament, and
Yeah.
who doesn't want an amazing design for showing off small prints?
aw,
Yeah, the snap fit is awesome.
it really is.
It's super well designed. Hats off. Yeah, hats off to John. All right, well, we'll see you next week. Stay tuned. Join the Discord. Keep up on everyone's progress. And we'll be posting our progress in there as well.
Exactly. There
All
we
right.
go. Bye, guys.
We'll see you later. Check this out. We're not gonna cut out. We've
We've
got
got
an
a
outro.
solution.
Oh wow.
Beautiful.